In these ancient waters, colossal reptiles once reigned supreme, some reaching lengths of up to 15 meters, truly the apex predators of their time. There were also giant sea turtles, comparable in size to modern SUVs, and massive 6-meter-long fish species, easily swallowing prey similar in size to humans. This ocean fostered countless powerful beings, some even boasting immense bite forces capable of effortlessly crushing a car. However, the most iconic predator of this ancient sea was undoubtedly the mosasaur. Imagine if they suddenly appeared in today's oceans. They would surely become a nightmare for all marine life. The mosasaur, belonging to the Mosasauridae family, is an extinct giant marine reptile and one of its largest representatives. The most common mosasaur species reached lengths of 14 meters and weighed around 850 kilograms. But don't let their massive size fool you. These marine behemoths were not only enormous, but also incredibly agile, excelling at hunting in darkness and effortlessly killing other large predators. Their streamlined, flexible bodies allowed them to swim at high speeds, making escape almost impossible for prey. Their powerful tails, nearly half their body length, provided excellent maneuverability when pursuing prey. The light skull design allowed mosasaurs to swallow remarkably large prey. In some smaller mosasaur remains, teeth from giant plesiosaurus measuring up to 10 meters have been found. Additionally, remains of 4-meter-long platycarpus have been discovered, indicating that mosasaurs were not picky eaters, preying on small animals, large predators, and even other mosasaurs. Mosasaur skulls typically ranged from 1 to 1.5 meters, enabling them to easily bite off large chunks of prey or even swallow it whole, much like modern monitor lizards. Recently, a small 2.5-meter-long plesiosaur skeleton was found intact within the remains of a 9-meter-long mosasaur, suggesting it was swallowed whole and possibly even alive. Mosasaur teeth were exceptionally hard, flat on the inside and rounded on the outside. This structure was perfect for gripping slippery marine creatures, making them an inescapable killing machine. If prey attempted to dive into deeper waters to escape, mosasaurs could easily locate them using sensitive nerve clusters or possibly electroreceptors at the tip of their heads. Some mosasaur skulls show healed fracture marks, possibly from colliding with rocks or from battles with prey or other mosasaurs, indicating their aggressive nature. Many fossil records show them frequently injured in fights with various predators, with cannibalism not uncommon. Scholars widely believe that mosasaurs often engaged in fierce intraspecific combat, preferring to battle each other rather than hunt weaker prey, and often did not live to a great age. If the largest mosasaur were to swim alongside a modern great white shark, its immense body would undoubtedly make the shark uneasy. At 14 meters long, the mosasaur would be more than 3 times the length of the great white, and its weight would exceed the shark's by more than 8 times. Its nearly 2-meter-wide maw, almost half the length of the entire shark's body, could easily snap the shark in half. Without a doubt, the mosasaur was one of the most formidable predators in the western interior seaway. However, it was not the sole ruler of these ancient waters. Among other members of the Mosasauridae family, the Hoffmann's mosasaur was also one of the most threatening large marine reptiles of this period. The Hoffmann's mosasaur, or Mosasaurus hoffmannii, was an awe-inspiring giant, a quintessential representative of the mosasaur family, with distant evolutionary ties to modern monitor lizards. This mosasaur chose to enter the ocean and found a suitable environment to thrive. As the type species of the Mosasaurus genus, the Hoffmann's mosasaur stood out among many mosasaurs due to its astonishing size and powerful physique, marking the pinnacle of its family's evolution. It grew to lengths of 15 to 17 meters. A caudal vertebra found in Russia measured 1.6 meters long, and other caudal vertebra suggest its length could have reached 2 meters. Overall, the Hoffmann's mosasaur's weight likely ranged from 150 to 270 metric tons. Even at the lower estimate, it was still the largest marine predator of its time. Compared to the largest modern great white, this ancient marine giant was almost 4 times its length and more than 20 times its weight. Its enormous skull was particularly prominent among mosasaurs. Unlike the agile jaw of the mosasaur, the Hoffmann's mosasaur's more robust and powerful jaw allowed it to tear and slice prey with ease. Its front teeth were blade-like and razor-sharp with cutting edges designed for tearing and chewing large pieces of flesh. With its massive jaw, approximately 1.7 meters long, this predator could not only effortlessly slice through prey, but also swallow it whole. This ancient behemoth primarily hunted by sight. Its massive eye sockets allowed it to capture more light, expanding its field of vision. Although its binocular field of vision was only about 29 degrees, making it difficult to accurately estimate prey distance, it didn't need precise measurements. Due to its absolute dominance in the ocean, its predation style was active hunting for fresh prey, rather than scavenging for carrion. Evolution had equipped it with all the necessary traits to be a top marine hunter, so it didn't need to rely on the scent of injured or dead prey. The Hoffmann's mosasaur possessed a long, streamlined body with well-developed flippers and a shark-like caudal fin, enabling it to swim swiftly and turn with agility, making it no less dangerous than the mosasaur when pursuing prey. As an active marine apex predator, its diet included giant fish, sharks, sea turtles, and even cephalopods. Hoffmann's mosasaurs often engaged in life-or-death battles with other mosasaurs, with the victor devouring the loser. Scientists speculate that these giants might have even ambushed prey, patiently waiting for targets to surface. The Hoffmann's mosasaur also possessed incredible stamina and swimming ability, with powerful tail propulsion, allowing it to actively pursue prey. As a warm-blooded animal, its high metabolism kept it constantly active. Additionally, this predator could wait for other marine reptiles to surface to suffocate its prey, and could dive deep, tracking prey for extended periods. This marine giant was almost fearless, daring to attack any size aquatic creature, including the largest known sea turtle on Earth, the archelon. This giant turtle weighed over 20 metric tons and measured over 4.5 meters long, belonging to an extinct family of Cretaceous sea turtles with some distant kinship to modern leatherback turtles. The archelon was a colossal creature among its kind, with flippers extending over 5 meters, leaving tracks on land comparable to those of an excavator. Its skull was 70 centimeters long, featuring a large, beak-like mouth capable of easily crushing mollusk shells. Its immense size made it almost impossible for predators to bite directly onto its shell, which was also incredibly sturdy. Even the collision-specializing mosasaur would likely fail if it attempted to attack the archelon by ramming. Despite its enormous size and formidable carapace as a defensive mechanism, the archelon still occasionally fell victim to the Hoffmann's mosasaur. In the face of this underwater monster, no protective measure or strategy could save those who encountered it. Fossil records contain many fragmented remains of giant turtles, showing that they suffered injuries in life and even lost one or more flippers. Paleontologists hypothesize that these injuries were likely inflicted during encounters with large mosasaurs, especially the enormous Hoffmann's mosasaur. This marine giant dominated the ancient oceans, an unrivaled apex predator of its time. However, it's worth noting that in some respects, it still couldn't compare to another formidable opponent in the western interior seaway, the colossal crocodile, the Sarcosuchus. The Sarcosuchus, also known as Emperor Croc, not only hunted in water, but also stalked prey on land. It was one of the largest crocodiles in history, widely distributed along the coastlines of the western interior seaway. It was the second largest aquatic predator of its time, after the mosasaurs. Its appearance was very similar to modern crocodiles and alligators. Evolution seemed to have perfected its predatory form tens of millions of years ago, requiring no further changes. Sarcosuchus formed distinct populations on both sides of the western interior seaway, generally classified as Western Sarcosuchus and Eastern Rio Grande Sarcosuchus. The eastern Sarcosuchuses averaged about 8 meters long and weighed over 2 metric tons, making them much larger than any living crocodile. If that's not impressive enough, the western Sarcosuchus was even more terrifying in size. They could reach lengths of 12 meters and weigh over 8 metric tons. In comparison, the largest living crocodile is about 5.2 meters long and weighs 1.2 metric tons, making the western Sarcosuchus almost 2.5 times its length and over 7 times its weight. Such enormous size allowed Sarcosuchus to hunt not only herbivorous dinosaurs, but also carnivorous dinosaurs. Sarcosuchus was covered in 4 rows of exceptionally hard and thick bony scutes, akin to heavy armor, allowing it to emerge unscathed from battles with other large predators. This armor was incredibly robust and almost impenetrable. Its snout was broad, similar to modern Mississippi alligators or Cuban crocodiles, and its mouth was lined with thick, massive teeth. The teeth deeper in its mouth were short and blunt, perfectly suited for crushing dinosaur bones, a common sight during Sarcosuchus's feeding. Its powerful limbs could support its enormous body, enabling it to move freely on land. However, this monster's most lethal weapon was its immense bite force. The bite force of a large Sarcosuchus is estimated to be 10 times that of a Tyrannosaurus rex, which itself had the strongest bite force among dinosaurs. Studies suggest Sarcosuchus's bite force could reach 100,000 newtons, equivalent to 10 metric tons of pressure, enough to effortlessly crush a car or a boulder. This astonishing bite force, combined with its powerful jaw, indicates that Sarcosuchus preferred to crush its prey to death rather than tear and dismember it. No creature could survive a Sarcosuchus's bite. Its prey included dinosaurs, large fish, and even sea turtles. Their hard shells offered no resistance against the Sarcosuchus's jaw power. Nevertheless, the archelon, due to its immense size, usually remained outside the Sarcosuchus's prey range. The relatively smaller eastern Sarcosuchus, limited by its bite force and size, tended to prey on fish, sea turtles, and medium-sized coastal creatures. The gigantic western Sarcosuchus, however, preferred large prey. Larger Sarcosuchus would fearlessly pounce on dinosaurs, crushing them without harm. The Sarcosuchus's immense size, weight, and bite force allowed them to contend with apex predators, even fearlessly attacking and devouring the top dinosaur predators of the time, such as Suchomimus and Gorgonopes. Suchomimus could reach lengths of 9 to 10 meters. One can only imagine the spectacular and brutal scenes when these predators met on the coasts of the western interior seaway. As the ruler of coastal and nearshore regions, Sarcosuchus struck fear into every creature that entered its territory. Although Sarcosuchus occasionally ventured into the deep sea, those waters were already dominated by other behemoths, with the mosasaur family firmly holding the position of top predators. Speaking of common predators inhabiting the western interior seaway, if you were unfortunate enough to enter these dangerous waters, the first creature you'd likely encounter would be a giant shark. If you met a Pygodus, a large broad-mouthed shark, you'd be lucky, as it was one of the more docile sharks in those waters. Research into this creature's teeth revealed its very specialized diet. It possessed numerous flattened, even slightly convex, occluding teeth, forming a strong dental pavement. The largest dental pavements could reach 53 centimeters long and 45 centimeters wide. The lower jaw had 200 teeth, and the upper jaw had 260 teeth, totaling over 500 teeth. These features indicate that this shark belonged to the Pycodontidae family, and its diet primarily consisted of shelled or armored creatures. The tooth shapes varied from trapezoidal to rectangular to circular, with small ridges on the crown surface to enhance biting force, facilitating the gripping of shellfish prey. Picodus sharks were very common at the time, with over 26 known species. This was mainly due to the abundance of shelled and unshelled mollusks in the ocean, allowing this shark to be widely distributed, almost omnipresent in all oceans during the late Cretaceous. However, if you encountered another type of shark inhabiting the western interior seaway, you'd need to be worried. This shark was called the cretoxyrhina, a Jinsu shark, an active predator that occasionally acted as a scavenger. The cretoxyrhina belonged to the extinct lamniforms order, with sharp, serrated teeth capable of firmly gripping prey. Its streamlined body design allowed it to move quickly through the water. It's speculated that cretoxyrhina was covered in scales or some form of dermal denticles, which not only reduced drag while swimming, but also provided protection. Although its size didn't match that of Picodus, typically reaching about 4.9 meters, when food was scarce, these sharks often ventured into coastal areas, entering Sarcosuchus territory to feed on dinosaurs and marine life. Furthermore, cretoxyrhina was one of the few aquatic creatures capable of hunting pterosaurs, which could reach lengths of 7 meters. This suggests cretoxyrhina had excellent vision, allowing it to attack pterosaurs as they swooped down to catch fish. In this ancient ocean, there was another colossal creature that inspired dread: the plesiosaurs. These long-necked reptiles existed from the Triassic to the Cretaceous periods. Classic representatives of plesiosaurs include the 7.5-meter-long, 1.2 metric ton elasmosaurus, the over 8-meter Mosasaurus. This seems to be a confusion with a mosasaur in the description, as Mosasaurus is a mosasaur, long-necked dragon family, and not a plesiosaur, snake-necked dragon family, and a giant member of the plesiosaur group, the Styxosaurus. The Styxosaurus's neck alone was 7 meters long, with its entire body reaching 10 meters, and its image is a primary inspiration for the Loch Ness Monster legend. Plesiosaurus fed on fish and marine invertebrates. With their immense size, weighing up to 8 metric tons, streamlined bodies, flipper-like limbs, short tails, and relatively small heads, they appeared agile, but were not adept at high-speed swimming. Plesiosaurus relied on their exceptionally long necks to approach prey, keeping their bodies hidden in the distance. Fish might mistake its head for another fish, letting their guard down, only to fall into the plesiosaur's mouth. The plesiosaur's fearsome appearance did not match its relatively docile lifestyle. However, the next creature to be introduced is different. Its appearance can even induce bathyphobia, fear of deep water. This monster is a giant bony fish from the ancient ocean called the xiphactinus. If you were to make a horror film about underwater monsters, it would undoubtedly be the best protagonist. Compared to it, the great white shark would seem friendly. The xiphactinus was a ferocious predator and a voracious carnivore. Nothing that entered its mouth escaped, including small fish, sea turtles, and even juvenile mosasaurs. It sometimes fed indiscriminately. Some xiphactinus fossils have been found with undigested prey. The most shocking discovery was a 4-meter-long xiphactinus skeleton with a complete 2-meter-long fish still in its stomach. The xiphactinus likely suffocated from swallowing prey too large. This fish had a slender, torpedo-like body with astonishing explosive power, capable of speeds up to 60 kilometers per hour. Some even speculate it could leap out of the water like a dolphin to hunt flying reptiles near the surface. The xiphactinus's appearance resembled modern tarpon, but its lower jaw was exceptionally strong, earning it the nickname bulldog fish. Its mouth was lined with sharp, needle-like teeth, and its pectoral fins were narrow with a hard, filamentous leading edge that could reach up to 1 meter long. In short, the xiphactinus was an all-knowing underwater killing machine that struck fear into many marine creatures.